What's up, everybody, and welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the champion mindset, okay, and what it takes for you to be your 100%, 110%, the best you can be. Now, a lot of people ask me over and over again, how do you stick to your diet? How do you not skip cardio? How do you push 100% intensity in the gym all the time, even in off-season when I don't have to? Because I look at it, first of all, like there is no off-season. If I'm done with the show, then basically I am that many weeks out from my next show, which would be 50 weeks, 52 weeks, whatever, from my next show. So I have that time to improve before I start my diet. Now, what drives me to be the best that I can be? So let's back for a second. We'll do a story time. And story time takes place my junior year in high school. Now, I was a heavy metalhead, rocker, whatever, burnout, whatever you want to call it, until my junior year. And then I got sick of all that shit and got into working out and completely went from metalhead to jock. Now the thing about it was I was very athletic earlier in my life. When I played soccer, my team won the championship. I played baseball, my team won the championship. So I was doing really well and was on good teams, and you know, I enjoyed it. Well, for a little while I went into the whole non-athletic thing. And then when I decided to go back to it, I was like, you know what, football. We're a big football town. I want to play football. I didn't know much about how to play the game. I would watch it on TV here and there, but didn't know much about the game. Was very small, 130 pounds, which they put me at a defensive end at 130 pounds. I was fast, so they wanted me to get in, hit the quarterback as fast as I could. Now, my junior year, I did okay. I got a little bit of playing time. I sat the bench a lot. I made some tackles. I missed a huge sack that was against Pontigansa, a rival team, that probably would have made me a superstar for the rest of my life if I had hit that guy. And I just kind of stood there and froze and looked at the coach, and he was like, go, you idiot, go, hit him. And, so I didn't do that. So the next year when I came back my senior year, I decided, okay, I'm going to play football again. So I went back in, and I kind of tweaked my back during practice. And that kept me out of the gym for a little bit, which I realized right away, this is bullshit. I don't want this to happen. So I quit the team. Now that fall, what I decided to do was, fall, winter season, wrestle. Now, I'd never wrestled before, high school wrestling, folk style. And I figured, you know, it's an individual sport. There's a lot of weightlifting and conditioning involved. I want to do this. So I get in there, and although being a lot stronger, by this time I was 145. Now, despite being a lot stronger than the other guys, even the 168s and the 173s, I was stronger than them at 145. I had no technique, okay? So it was all power and no finesse. And I was getting my ass handed to me and kicked, and I got pushed down to the JV team as a senior, which, you know, shit happens. I wasn't that good. It's fine. I was wrestling with kids that had been wrestling since they were like 8 years old. But little by little, I learned a little bit until we had a home match where I wrestled up. I went up to the 168 class at 145. Now, mind you, I'd had some matches. I had lost the matches. And they set me up with this other guy. Now the guy's like laughing at me. He's like, dude, you weigh like so much less than me. I'm going to fucking crush you. So we get in there, and the first thing that happens, I start manhandling this guy, and I had a very good double leg takedown. Now I could take this guy down at will, let him back up, and beat him with points. But what I decided to do was, at that point, that would be the easy way out. That's not 100%. That's taking the easy, safe way out. What I wanted to do was give it 100% for that match. Now, how do you do that? Well, there's three-minute periods. So all I had to do was go balls out for 3 minutes at a time. Even though I didn't really have the strategy in my head, I knew if I pushed as hard as I could, that, you know, I could leave it all on the mat, and if I get beat, I get beat by experience, not because I didn't have the heart or I didn't have the drive. So what I did was proceed to beat the shit out of this kid, literally. I couldn't pin him. I didn't have the technique. I couldn't pin him, but I beat this kid at a point so bad that his coach was screaming at him from the side. So at the end of the match, we shook hands. They raised my hand as the winner. That was the first time I had won as a wrestler. So I came off the mat, and I was greeted by the whole team because they had no idea I had anything like that in me. I didn't even know I had it in me. And I felt what it feels like to win on your own. Be the only person you rely on is you, and you went in there and gave it 110%, and you reaped the rewards, and you won. You beat the other guy who was way bigger than you, who you shouldn't beat. Okay, and that's when I realized the heart of a champion, the mindset of a champion, and the drive that comes with it is not taught in practice. Okay, it's not something that's handed down to you. It's something you have in here. It's something you either have or don't. There's a lot of guys that get by on talent, and there's a lot of guys that get by on, hard work. But when it comes down to two people face to face on the mat, just like the Octagon MMA, the one who's got that heart of a lion that won't quit and pushes themselves 110% further than the other guy is usually going to come out on top. Now, in MMA, once in a while, you may get clipped by a shot and the guy falls down. But I took that mindset and applied it because I'd figured it out on my own. No one had taught it to me. No one had told me. I applied that to bodybuilding. Okay, but the thing about it was it took me, excuse me, a long time to be able to bring that part of me out, to be able to do that to that kid on the mat. Once I figured that out, I was like, if I apply this to bodybuilding, I'll have the same results. So what I did was I quit the wrestling team because I felt like, you know what, maybe I could win other matches, but the bottom line was I got out of it what I thought it was supposed to teach me. Okay, winning matches wasn't what I was about. It was about trying to learn and grow and trying to understand how I can be better as an athlete, which that's what I figured out at that point. So I've applied that to bodybuilding. Now for a while, what I did, because Al Thurston, the guy who first started training me as a teenager, when I would lose, he would say, well, you lost, but, you got second, okay, which is still not bad, but you improved and you were better than last year, right? Well, yeah. Well, then you go. You won. It's the journey. That's what it's all about. So that mindset kind of set me back a little bit because I thought, the next year when I was training, getting in shape, as long as I was better than last year, that was all it took to be the best I could be. But that was so untrue. It wasn't until 2006 when I did the Body Rock that I decided when I moved to the DC area, it was a bigger pond now with bigger fish. And I needed to go beyond what I had done before, but I needed to present a package that people would go, holy shit. And I did. I took my physique went from a drastic change from 2005 excuse me, to 2006. And I realized again, I hit another level. And now it's just me putting my head down, pushing forward for that 12 weeks or whatever it was that I dieted, and figured out a way to get it done, but never looked back, never stopped, never gave up, and just pushed. And then again, 2007, I went even further to the point where people were like, you easily can go to the Nationals and place top 10. Why don't you do that? I said, no, I'm not ready. I haven't gotten to that point yet. Top 10 is not what I want. What I want to be is 110% of what I can be, and I know that's not what it is. I had a setback in 2008. 2009 came back, produced another physique. That's the Pittsburgh, excuse me, allergies are killing me. The Pittsburgh and the Maryland Championships. Again, another level up on my physique. 2010, drastic screw up with the water fluid retention and not eating enough carbs to where I literally got 5th place to Lehigh, canceled my junior nationals competition. 2011, decided to provide my blog viewers with insight from being fat to getting lean, so I bulked up to almost 270 pounds and cut down to 207, which was what it was all about. And then last year, again, I had reached another, I wasn't bigger, but I had brought a better package. So now, 2013, what I'm trying to do again is go beyond where I have ever gone, but not putting any limit. Not thinking about last year, what I looked like, not thinking about, things in the past. Thinking about this is what a pro looks like, and I'm going to come as close to that as I possibly can because that's what it takes to be 110% of your best at what I'm doing. So this is just a little insight to you guys that champion mindset, that warrior mindset, that heart of a lion comes from in here. You have to have it. No one can teach it to you. And when you get pissed at someone because they're progressing better than you or faster than you or they have a better physique than you, sit around them for a little while. Hang around them. Watch how they eat. Watch how they train. Watch how they just react to life in general. They have that thing about them that's just, it's fire burning all the time. So don't get pissed at them. Try to find your fire so that you can get yourself to the next level. BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below. www.BioStrengthTraining.com is the blog. And we're out.